I'm Mikey. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Cabling. Today is a special episode. If you haven't figured it out, I'm not in my podcast studio.
Welcome to Let's Talk Cabling, your gateway to the world of ICT. Get ready to dive deep into knowledge that
Welcome to the show where we tackle the tough questions submitted by apprentices, installers, technicians, project managers, estimators, customers, even IT personnel, maybe even CIOs at healthcare facilities. Maybe you never know. Where you're connecting at the human level where we can connect the world. If you're watching this show on YouTube, would you mind hitting the subscribe button and the bell button to be notified when new content is being created? If you're listening to us on one of the audio podcast platforms, would you mind leaving us a 5-star rating? Those simple little steps helps us take on the algorithm so we can educate, encourage, and enrich the lives of people in the ICT industry. Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What are you doing? You know I do a live stream on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere I can figure out a way to push out a live stream to, where you get to ask your favorite RCDD questions on installation, design, project management. I even do career path questions. But I can hear you now. But Chuck, I'm driving my truck at Wednesday night at 6 p.m. I don't want to get into an accident. Relax. I record them, and you can watch them at your convenience. And finally, while this show is free and will always remain free, if you find value in this content, would you click on that QR code right there? You can buy me a cup of coffee. You can even schedule a 15-minute one-on-one call with me, after hours, of course. So, again, like I said, if you haven't figured out, I'm not in the podcast studio. I'm at Vegas. I'm not a gambler, so I'm not here to gamble. I'm not here to do all the other stuff. I'm here for BICSI Beyond 2025. And I've got a special guest, a repeat guest on the show, John Daniels. John, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, Chuck. How are you, man?
Good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you again.
Same here. So for the couple of people who don't know who BICSI is and who John Daniels is, give us the 50,000-foot view of who you are.
Yeah, so that's easy. BICSI is a nonprofit professional association, and we're focused on advancing the ICT profession. That's what we're all about. Everything that we do is focused on the professionals, people like you, the installers, the project managers. We're here to help you all be successful.
Nice.
And then in terms of me, John Daniels, I'm just the CEO of BICSI. So, but my team, the staff of BICSI do all the work, and they make all the magic happen. Yeah,
I got here kind of early because I'm always I'd rather be. My dad's a Marine, and he always told me, be 15 minutes early or you're 5 minutes late, son. So I got here early to set up the podcast, and I saw that y'all were doing your picture over there. I was like, that's a great bonding moment as a company. I like that.
Yeah, that's one of the, I guess the sort of the behind the scenes touches that we did, but it's focused specifically on staff, but it benefits the attendees as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I attended a bunch of the committee meetings yesterday, and I actually was wearing one of the bright orange neon shirts, which is very, very bright, and I let the committees know that, hey, all of the staff are going to be wearing these neon-colored bright shirts, and while it's fun for us, it's also helps them to point out who the staff are. So if they have questions, they have concerns, they have feedback they want to share, tell us how happy they are about how the conference is going, they'll be able to quickly spot out one of the staff members and be able to share that feedback with them.
I'm going to give away one of my secrets. If I want to be spotted at an event like this, I usually wear a high-vis shirt that says Let's Talk Cabling on it. Yeah. Because it's worked last in BICSI Orlando, in the main conference room where they do the keynotes. It's a huge room, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 seats, whatever it is. Yeah. I always sit in the front row because I want to be close because I'm kind of ADHD. Yeah. And I want to be in the front row, and several people come, I saw the shirt that came up. So they call it high vis for a reason.
They do, and of course we're not the ones that invented that or recognize.
But you're capitalizing on it.
But we're capitalizing on it, of course. But it's I guess you could say it's a recognition of the safety industry, right? Because that's really where I think it came out. Yep. And that could be another meaning behind the shirts is recognizing the importance of safety within the industry as well.
And kind of raise that awareness and tell people, look, you need to take this. We're taking it seriously, so you should take it seriously.
Yeah, and if you want some of those bright colored shirts, we have some in the BICSI store across the.
Oh, I was over there yesterday. I didn't see them. You must not have had them out yet.
Maybe not, but I did see them. So they're out there. Yeah.
Gotcha. So let's get to some straight talk. Okay. the fall conference, you remapping it, you're reinventing it. Why?
So the BICSI Fall Conference has been a strong conference for many, many years, 50 actually, right? And it's done a lot to help people like you and others grow their careers, grow their professional knowledge, grow their expertise in the field. But it's been the same for a while. Things are changing. BICSI needs to change too. And so that's why we've been working very hard to reimagine the conference. We've got a much broader vision. We're going beyond the traditional, I use the word beyond, so you might hear that a few times in my comments. But we're going beyond the traditional learning experience or the learning formats that have been used in traditional BICSI conferences. And we've moved towards a more immersive experience where we're involving the attendees more in the presentations than all the presentations just be a sit and get sort of situation where you sit down and you hear somebody talk and then you leave and go to the next one, right? So we want to make sure that these are immersive. We're trying to elevate the experience of the conference. So that's why we're rethinking how we do the formats, the learning formats in the conference. I think when we do that, it also helps us to have a bigger impact on our mission, helping us to further advance the ICT profession, because if we can get the audience involved, they're the ones that are going to go out and do all the work and represent BICSI and the profession based on the work that they do. So I think they'll be able to have a bigger impact if they're able to engage with the speakers, engage with those who are doing the presentations, and then I think it helps with retention, right? So then they go home thinking, we had a talk about that just last week at the BICSI conference, and so this is how a lot of other people are handling this situation. So that's another reason. But I also think it creates a stronger community. It gets people engaged with each other. They're debating at a table on a particular, set of solutions, and we'll talk about that in a minute, of course. But I think it brings the professionals together, brings the BICSI community together, or the profession together, and so that's another big reason why we wanted to.
Right, that does two things, right? Number one, it helps build up tolerances that people have different opinions than you.
Yeah.
And two, it also makes you realize that there are other people who think the same way as you, so you realize you're not the only one out there that's thinking, hey, this is not the right way.
Yeah.
So it does both of those. That debates are really, really great ideas.
Yeah. We're excited about it. In terms of the timing, I think one of the things you were asking about was why now? It's because look what's happening in the industry. It's evolving, and it's evolving quickly.
Speed of light.
Speed of light. Exactly. Beyond the speed of light.
Right.
BICSI needs to evolve as well. I mean, we can't continue to do the same formats and have the same, sort of conference experience that we've had for 50 years because it's not contributing to advancing the ICT profession and helping the professionals grow. So we have to evolve with it, and this is one of the ways that we're trying to evolve. We're also trying to capitalize on that post-pandemic momentum.
Yes.
All of a sudden within the pandemic, people are we're relying or dependent on sort of the ICT infrastructure to provide education access for the kids who weren't able to go to school because they closed all the schools. Companies to be able to continue working like BICSI, who before the pandemic, everything was hands-on, everything was live, everything was in person. BICSI too was impacted by that. And so fortunately, we are the association for the ICT infrastructure, and we very quickly pivoted. And so we're continuing to build on that momentum of depending on infrastructure. And I think there's so much more we could do with that, and that's one of the reasons, again, another reason why we're doing it now, because we think we can impact the industry more by being able to change how we do things.
And one of the themes I've heard, because I've sat in several committee meetings myself yesterday actually, and it's been identified more than once, and hence the whole reason for the podcast is, we're aging out. So that's another good reason for changing it, because what might attract the 50, the 60, the 70-year-olds, the people with 30, 40, 50 years experience is not going to attract the 22-year-old fresh in the industry. So,
you're absolutely
right. I think it's a great idea that you change it. What two specific problems were you trying to solve with the whole revamping of Beyond BICSI?
I would say, obviously, the industry is facing some significant challenges. One of those is being talent shortage. So workforce development is a big initiative within BICSI, and we've got a few things that are sort of boiling or baking in the background to address that head on. Things that I can't really speak to specifically right now, but I'm very excited about some of the initiatives that we're going to be undertaking in the near future. And we're using the conference platform to help us educate folks or inform others about the opportunities that are out there for BICSI to be in the middle of that, building that talent, building the workforce. We're focusing on our program triangle, which is the standards and the training and the certifications. And so we're trying to use those platforms as well as here at the conference to upskill, help people upskill, help people advance their capabilities and evolve as well, because it's not going to be the same. You know, the design work, the installation work, and the project management work is not going to be the same, you know, a few years from now.
No, it's not.
Based on the evolution of AI and the other technologies out there, and on the convergence of all these systems that are connecting to the network. So we want to make sure that we're helping to build the talent, and make sure that there's a talent-ready workforce out there to be able to jump in and implement and solve and address those evolving needs that are being placed on and demands that are being placed on the industry.
You know, as we get older, we become less acceptable of change, right? So you're changing the whole format of the fall conference. What are you still doing to make the veterans who've been coming to the fall conference still feel anchored here?
That's a good question. I think for the veterans, as we talked about earlier, we've been doing the conference the same way for 50 years, generally speaking. You come to the conference, you hear information, and then you go home. What we're trying to do is make this event more immersive. So we're trying to give the veterans a different experience. We're trying to give them a more experiential opportunity to not only listen, but actually to engage in conversations with the presenters, with the SMEs about, hey, you just said this, but you know, when the work that I do, that's really not how it goes, or this is how we've solved that problem. And others that are sitting around, other veterans that are sitting around the table with them, it gives them the opportunity to engage in that conversation with the people at the table and with the presenter, all in this new format that we're presenting. And there's 2 or 3 different formats that sort of provide those opportunities, right? And so I think from a veteran's perspective, it's going to be a different learning experience, and I hope to hear positive feedback from that.
That's my next question.
Good, because I think that if I was a veteran coming to a BICSI conference, I've been coming to the conferences now for 5 years, not only because I have to, because I've enjoyed it very much, and it's fun watching the team and the attendees get together and that sort of thing.
Let's take a short break. Are you trying to reach the technicians, project managers, and decision makers of the ICT industry? Then why aren't you advertising on Let's Talk Cabling? With over 150,000 impressions a month across podcasts, YouTube, and social media, this isn't just a show, it's the go-to resource for the low-voltage industry. We spotlight the tools, training, and technology shaping the future of structured cabling, and your brand could be front and center. Don't just get noticed, get trusted. Email Chuck at advertising@letstalkcabling.com and let's connect your brand to the right audience today.
Let's talk about this. After the lights are turned off and all of the stuff is packed in their boxes to be shipped back to Tampa, and everybody catches their plane, rides home, how's BICSI going to measure whether this event was successful or not compared to previous conferences?
That's actually an easy question. It's all going to be measured by attendee feedback. Plain and simple, attendee feedback. I told a lot of the committees yesterday when they were meeting is that we really want your feedback. This is the inaugural BICSI Beyond conference where we're presenting these new formats and presenting new ways of delivering content and elevating the learning experience. We want to know if it works. We want to know if after this is all said and done, we want to know if they actually were able to gain something new or take back something that they haven't necessarily taken away from previous conferences that they've been to. So it's all going to be dependent on attendee feedback. Now we may have some numerical metrics or something that we're measuring internally, but that's not as important as the attendee feedback, because their feedback is what's going to shape what the next Beyond conference is going to look like next year.
That was my next question. Is there going to be a next one? And then how are these surveys going to be collected? Are they going to go through the app, or are you going to email to people who registered afterwards? What's the mechanism there?
Yes, and some other ways.
Okay.
So yes, we'll continue to do the post-conference surveys where we're wanting to get feedback from not only the attendees but the sponsors and the exhibitors who help make this happen. So we're trying to make their experience as meaningful as well as it is for the attendees. So we'll continue to do those email surveys after the fact. We will also have some online surveys through the app that they'll be able to take as they take a session. But we're introducing a new technology. Not a new technology, but for us, it's new to us because we haven't really used it before. And it's using real-time data collection through Slido. And you're probably from what? You familiar with Slido?
No.
Okay.
No. I've heard the name, but
so it's like a polling application where in the middle of a session, the speakers may say, you know what? Tell me what you think. I'm going to ask this question, and you answer this live. Go to
so it's kind of like
scan this
Zoom
QR
or
code
or whatever it is.
I don't know how it would compare to Zoom, but it
No,
basically
not Zoom. There's a platform. I think it's called Kazoom.
Kazoom.
Yeah, where they put up a screen and the speaker will ask you a question. There's like 4 responses, and you comes up on your phone. And
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
just like
that.
it's live. Okay. It's real time.
Gotcha.
And we've integrated that into the conference, not only for the general sessions, but we're testing it out in some of the concurrent sessions as well.
Nice.
And that will give us some immediate feedback on how those particular sessions, maybe the learning formats, the keynote speakers or what have you. So that's another way that we're gathering that attendee feedback. And then of course with all the bright colored shirts that the staff are wearing around the conference, their ears are going to be perked up. They're going to be listening, and they're going to be gathering sort of those anecdotal comments as they're interacting with the attendees and the exhibitors and what have you. And then of course we put our board to work as well. So we've got our board members walking around asking questions.
Finally earning their pay.
Exactly. And if they do a good job this year, we'll double their pay.
There you go.
But there's many ways that we're gathering that feedback, and again, just to sum it all up, it really comes down to the attendee experience.
Right.
We're trying to elevate that experience. We're trying to give them an experience that makes them walk away saying, holy cow, I'm glad I came to this because I'm taking this back home because I'm working on this project and this is going to help me accelerate the work that I'm doing there, or make it better or make it stronger or whatever. And then I'm going to tell my friends, you got to go to BICSI Beyond next year because it was incredible. Right. So that's what's going to tell us whether or not what we've done works.
Yeah, I just got a message literally 2 weeks ago. At the Orlando event, I had somebody come help me with the podcast because I just had too much stuff going on. And he went and did the tour over at the airport.
Oh yeah.
And he called me 2 weeks ago and he goes, Chuck, thank you so much for help me do that. And it's just, I now have the opportunity to go to my airport and relay the stuff that I saw for potential work.
Yep.
And that's exactly what this stuff's for. So you guys teased out there's 6 educational things that are going to be going on. Give us a 50,000 foot view. What are they?
So the different formats, or are you talking about the 6 tracks that we have?
The 6 tracks.
The 6 tracks. Okay. I brought along our new, wonderfully designed, completely different conference program.
You got to do the Vanna White.
So that's
the thumbnail right there.
This is amazing. The team has really gone beyond what we've expected of them.
There's that word again. Beyond.
Yep. And done an outstanding job on this program. There's so many new, even the program, we talk about interaction. Right. The program is also an interactive tool that attendees can use. So we have 6 tracks. The 6 tracks are color coded. And that allows the attendees to be able to say, okay, I want to go to all the blue ones, right? So I'm just going to look at the blue ones, and then when they attend that session, they can check it off.
Gotcha.
And say, well, this is the session that I went to, and here's what I learned out of it. So it'll help reinforce sort of that learning experience and maybe, I think, help them to be able to take something home with them. So the 6 tracks that we've focused on at this particular conference, which the theme of this conference is convergence. As you know, there's a lot of convergence happening. Everything's being connected to the network and becoming more and more dependent on the network and the infrastructure that makes it work, right? So all 6 tracks are really focused on that convergence, but on different topics, different areas. Intelligent infrastructure advancements. That's a big one. And so all of the topics that are related to that, as well as the other ones, they may be different presentations, but the content or the topic feeds into that overarching track theme. We also have wireless innovations, AI transforming business. Everybody's talking about AI. You can't go to a conference these days without hearing something about AI. It's just as applicable in our industry as it is anywhere else, because AI is not going to work without us.
That's right.
Right? So we're trying to upskill, we're trying to inform those about how AI is impacting the designers and the installers and the project managers and others that are peripheral to or adjacent to our industry. AI transforming business, AV and security integration. Again, that's a big one where you've got convergence happening. Optimizing data centers. Everybody's hearing so much about the boom of data centers, and the boom of data centers is in large part being driven by the demand for AI and the evolution of AI and how it's continuing to evolve and getting more, I don't even know what word to use. It's just incredible to watch the advancement of AI. Now they're talking, agentic AI. We started with generative AI. Now we're going to agentic AI, and eventually we'll have artificial generative intelligence, AGI, which is, people are starting to do that now, right? So you can't do that without the infrastructure. So optimizing data centers, uniting limited energy for the industry evolution. The electrical trade and the ICT trade have been sort of...
We're stepbrothers.
Exactly.
We're stepbrothers. we like each other. We love each other. We won't let somebody else pick on each other.
Yeah.
But we fight amongst each other a lot.
I need to go back and watch that movie again, because it may be a good description.
Yes.
But anyway, we understand and we recognize that is a... I don't want to say a contentious point, but it's a point of convergence between 2 trades, and we're each trying to kind of feel our way through that. We want to facilitate the conversation between both trades. We don't want to fall down on a specific position on one side or the other. We're trying to pull people together to have those conversations, and I think that lends itself well to the new formats that we put in place to allow them to be able to have the conversations at the table, have the individuals have conversations with the speakers, and just increase our knowledge and understanding of what that convergence means, and sort of get a feel for maybe where it's going in the future. So that's the other one. And the last one is professional development. And related to all of these things, as designers, as installers, as project managers, it's incumbent upon them to educate themselves on how the industry is evolving. How's AI going to affect my ability to run cable, run fiber, or what have you? How is AI going to affect my work in terms of designing projects or what have you, even project managers, right? So it's going to affect them all. And so they need to have a pathway to be able to upskill themselves and to understand how AI and these evolving technologies is going to impact the work that they're doing on a day-to-day basis. And that's the professional development track to help them through that process. So those are the 6 tracks at a very high level. There's obviously several sessions within each, and each of them obviously point back to the topic.
I'm going to tell you something. I hope that you and your team doesn't think less of me. I haven't even opened up that book yet in my bag because I'm so used to so many years of just being the same thing.
Yeah.
I haven't even opened it up yet.
Yeah.
So now after this, you don't have to go look at it.
Well, you have to at least pull it out and feel the nice soft cover.
Yes. Yes.
And see the beautiful colors inside that you never saw before. So
Right.
Again, the team went beyond and did a fantastic
and a lot of people don't
job.
realize, I do being an instructor, is, color is more engaging and people tend to pay attention to more, but it also costs more money. That's right. But I just put that out there because one of the things I hear all the time is, BICSI's only out for money. No, they're investing it back in things like this and training and everything else and personal development and all that. People don't see the backside of that, and they're just short-sighted when they say that.
We're very fortunate, as you've heard us talk about how BICSI has come to a point in its life that we are financially sound in how do I put this? Our financial status is the best it's been in the history of the organization at this point, right? And so that's how we're able to begin to pour that back in to the organization to deliver a much better, a much elevated experience to the attendees, to the members. So it's not just on the conferences where we're making these investments. We're making investments in the membership program for both individuals and corporate members. We're making investments in how we deliver our training. Micro training, for example, micro certifications.
Micro-learning is huge
Micro-learning,
right now.
absolutely. Huge. So we've already began launching some of those micro training classes and the certifications or the certificates to go with it. So we've invested in that. We're investing in our standards and publications programs. We're investing in our infrastructure specifically within BICSI, right? So not only does the industry need to evolve, and
you're putting a new cable in at BICSI?
we are not necessarily putting in new cabling because they just did a renovation of the building back in 2019,
I thought they did one not too long ago.
which is still looking great. Although, you know, I'd like to have some nice furniture someday, but I'm just kidding. We're investing in BICSI's infrastructure. So I don't know if you've seen it yet, but BICSI Navigator. So it's a new platform for members and corporate members and credential holders to use to track their own progress. And we've already come out with the first 2 versions of BICSI Navigator. We're about to come out with version 3, adding more features that are focused on the corporate members and their ability to manage the benefits that they get as a BICSI corporate member. And this is just version 1. So we got version 2 already in the works for next year. But we're investing in that infrastructure because if we're not able to support our members, support our corporate members, support our credential holders as effectively and efficiently as we can, we're not doing our jobs. We're not doing you all service, right? And so we're trying to elevate or modernize our infrastructure to be able to do a much better job and to make it easier for people to engage with BICSI and to get the learning that they need, to access the credentials that they need, to get the continuing education credits that they need. We're coming out with a new policy on that.
So this wasn't one of my prearranged questions, and I promise I'm not trying to blow
No,
the
it's
show.
okay. It's okay.
You mentioned it the last time you talked about you were revamping that process.
Yeah.
And then I sat in a couple of committee meetings. You said the same thing, that it's out.
Yep.
Are you familiar enough with or confident enough with to kind of give us a high level what's changed with the?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been working on this for a while. We recognized in the beginning that it's hard to get CECs, especially for the global members, because for those who are RCDDs, it comes with, the renewal comes with a required conference credit, right? And it's been very difficult, particularly during COVID, when you couldn't attend conferences face-to-face anymore. So it was in COVID, basically, when we started thinking about how do we improve that process? How do we improve or create more accessibility for gaining CECs and getting the CECs that you need to continue renewing your credential and to stay up to date on the latest and greatest trends and that sort of thing. So what we've ended up with now is a new credential holder recertification policy, and included in that policy are new CEC earning opportunities. So for example, if you volunteer at BICSI on one of the committees as an SME, or you're a chair, or in whatever capacity, if you're a member of a committee, a voting member of a committee, and you're volunteering on that, you will get CECs for that.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. If you
that needs to be broadcasted from the top of the mountain, because A, we need more volunteers, and B, one of the biggest hurdles that credential people have is because they're busy. They're running projects and family life, and it's getting their CECs, and I've heard it more than once because people reach out to me because I'm a trainer in my day job. Chuck, I got 30 days left. I need CECs. What do you got for me? Yeah, so that's huge.
It is, and that's just one way. So being a volunteer, and to your point, when you volunteer for BICSI, you're helping us write the standards.
Yes.
You're helping us write the technical manuals and the best practices. That means you're contributing your expertise to this, which tells us you have the expertise, and the updates that we're making to each of the standards, the volunteers are doing that for us.
Yes.
So they need to get credit for having that knowledge and having that expertise. So that's why it just makes perfect sense to give them CEC credit for contributing back to BICSI and back to the industry by helping us keep our standards and manuals updated.
You offered to double the salary of the board of directors. How about doubling the salary of the volunteers?
Done.
Nice.
Done.
Nice. All right, so
But that's just one of the ways that we're adding to the policy that allows you to get more CECs.
Right.
The other thing that we've added to it is ethics training. So when you renew your credential, you're going to be required to get at least one CEC from ethics training.
Okay.
As professionals, we need to
Yes.
act like professionals. And BICSI in the past hasn't traditionally had any training on ethics.
Right.
We've had our code of ethics and professional obligations for a long time, which I know everybody takes seriously. And the credential holders have to agree to abide by that before we give them the certificate, right? But now we want you to demonstrate that expertise by taking the training and passing the exam, or it's not an exam. It's like it's built into the training.
Right.
It's not that difficult.
Right.
But we want to keep ethics in the forefront, if you will, for everybody who represents BICSI with the credential that you've got on your shirt or on your your signature line on a plan or what have you. So we're going to require credential holders to obtain at least one CEC during a 3-year certification cycle.
That's so when you say ethics training, does that have to be BICSI ethics training? Because
BICSI ethics training.
Because
We've actually created an ethics training course that's built on and based on our code of ethics and professional obligations.
Is that free or is there a charge?
It's
for
free.
Nice.
For now. No, it's free. So it's really important, but that's another way to get a CEC.
Right.
And there's other ways to get CECs beyond what they've traditionally been able to get.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the changes that are coming, and it's actually going to be coming pretty soon.
All right, you ready for a lightning round?
Let's
Got
do it.
Five quick questions, quick answers. All right, here we go. What's the first stop for a newcomer coming to the event?
The member village.
Like that.
And there's two reasons why they need to go to the member village is because one, if they're not a member, they need to sign up because there are a lot of benefits that they get for being a member, and it pays to be a member.
Right.
And two, if you're due for renewal, get it done. You might
Don't
get
wait.
a discount if you do it here
Don't wait.
at the conference.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So the member village is definitely the first place they need to visit.
Second one.
After registration, of course.
There you go. Second one. What debate topic is going to spark useful arguments?
Should limited energy integrators be licensed?
I could do a month's worth of shows on that one. A month worth of shows. Right.
Yeah.
What's the best reason for someone to take a teammate or a peer to the next BICSI Beyond event? Because I know there's going to be one in 2026.
Oh yeah. There's power in numbers, Chuck.
Yes.
There's power in numbers. You can bring your colleagues with you. I've seen whole teams come together, and what I've heard from them is that they get more done together as a team in terms of team building and working on specific projects that are hot right now. They get more done by coming together and working together and sitting at those round tables together, having those conversations as a team. So there's power in numbers.
There's a synergy.
100%.
Absolutely. And the beautiful thing too is when you go to events with people, two people can sit in the exact same event, hear the exact same speaker say the exact same thing, and they're going to come away with two different things. And when they talk about it, they get a deeper understanding of that.
Yeah.
So that's great.
That's why I like to surround myself with people like you and my leadership
There you
team
go.
because
There you
they
go.
bring a completely different perspective and they keep me out of trouble.
John, I appreciate your time, my brother.
Thank you, Chuck, and
you.
thank you for supporting the BICSI Beyond Conference
My
and
pleasure.
being here to
Do what I do.
spread the word.
Do what I do.
Spread the word.
Make
Do what
contact.
you do. Right. Knowledge is power, man.
Oh, you know that's gonna be an audio clip.
Let's cable with pride. In the world of ICT, let's ride this tide. Thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Cabling. Stay tuned for more